We are all, I suspect, wondering what ANC Secretary-General Magashule will do today. His 30 days step-aside grace period comes to an end. Last month's ANC NEC meeting reaffirmed its resolutions on fighting corruption and called on members who've been charged to step aside. For more on this, ANC Veteran Mavuso Msimang speaks to us from Johannesburg. A very good morning to you. I'm sure that you are closer to the rumblings within the ANC, closer than we could ever be. What do you think is going to happen today as far as Magashule is concerned?
Well, I expect the Secretary-General, it's more really a hope than an expectation that he will step aside today. But if he doesn't do so, I fully expect that the ANC leadership will ensure that he does step aside.
Why do you think that he'll step aside? I mean, we've seen him speak to previous leaders. He's even called on the EFF for support. What would make him do the right thing?
Well, what will make him do the right thing is if the ANC takes the kind of action that it's taken with Supra Mahumapelo to ensure that people who are in breach of the rules of the ANC step aside if that's the action to take, or are told to are suspended. No, what really should happen today is that by end of business, I expect that if he hasn't stepped aside, the authorities, the powers that be, will ensure that he no longer has access to his office at Luthuli House. And it's really not a difficult thing to do that. And if he has any intention to appeal, whatever that means, that can always be done when he is out of the office. The commitment, the resolution was that people like him should step aside by today. And that's what must happen.
Whatever way it plays out today, say, for example, if he doesn't step aside and the party's forced to do something, what sort of impact could it have on the ANC? Some say that this is likely to split the party, if it's not split already.
I think the people who are said to be a faction that is a threat to the party, they're just over-respected. If the ANC does what it's supposed to do, cause him to step aside, nothing is going to happen. There may be demonstrations here, there, and so on. The ANC can't be living in fear that if it did this, there is some group of people who will not like the implementation of a decision that's been carried out, that's been taken not only by the NEC itself, which includes Magashule. They're not going to, they should not allow a person who only last year was saying that he's not bound by any ANC resolution, but by the constitution of the ANC, and therefore he can step aside. And then if now it's convenient to come up with a resolution which demanded this, that, and the other, what has to happen, and I think I'm really confident the ANC will be able to do this, is to ensure that he steps aside. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is going to happen to the organization.
And tell me, what do you think of the support for the president at the Zondo Commission from ANC supporters, from the high-level members of the ANC? I mean, is this, and what we're seeing happening to Supra, is this a president in his full stride here?
I'm very happy with the appearance of the president yesterday. I mean, he's facing a very difficult task to explain the misdeeds and all the wrong things that have been happening in the past few years. I think he was positive in the first instance, quite frank, honest. He had a difficult task because the things that that he was being asked about really happened, and he can't explain them away. The hope, as people have said, is that this will be taken as a lesson learned, and that he can make a promise that this shall never, never, and never again happen to the ANC, that we have a leadership that completely forgets about the interests of the people who put them in power and starts looting and thieving and doing all these sorts of things that have really made the name of the ANC almost synonymous with corruption.
Mavuso Msimang, always good to talk to you.